Welcome. This is AllMinucOne Quick Shots. So, folks, today, no doubt you've probably heard the President of the United States, Donald Trump, has contracted the Coof. Now, I suspected this would happen as last night there was breaking news that he had a staffer that had it, and he was on a plane together with him on Air Force One. So, him and his wife are now under the care of the White House doctors, and they seem to be fine. He just spoke yesterday, and I expect him to be fine. He's been taking hydroxychloroquine as a prophylactic. That is not a cure, but it does seem to help with the disease, with the viral load, the viral spread. The president is generally in good health, according to all reports, medical records that he has released in the past, and statements from doctors within the White House. So what does this mean? Well, it doesn't mean really anything. I know there's a lot of people talking about it, but there will probably still be debates, I'm sure, because by the time the debates come around, today is the 2nd, it will have been 2 weeks. I believe the next debate's on the 15th. There will have been 2 weeks of quarantine. So it still should be able to go on. Now, there are a lot of people out there espousing conspiracy theories, like Trump probably actually doesn't even have this, and he's just going to play this up like it never happened. Well, no. But recall that the place that we're at right now, maybe you don't believe this, but it is true. The place that we're at right now within politics is that anything and everything the president says is wrong because he is an anti-globalist. Now, I think I'm going to do a long-form video on the rise of globalism within the United States here soon. I have some other projects geared up, but have not yet quite gotten to them, just as life goes. But in any case, he is not a globalist. He's a nationalist, and that is the issue, because globalism has been rising in the United States since the end of World War II. Really, it started before that with other certain groups. But he's not in the establishment, folks. This is why they've tried to impeach him over nothing. This is why they have the fake conspiracies. This is why they've done all the things that they've done. This is why the media is absolutely against him, unless you're watching alternative media or Fox News. And of course, Fox News wasn't against him or wasn't for him originally. They were against him. The president's probably going to come through this. You can mark my words on this. Absolutely fine. He will probably have almost no symptoms whatsoever. It will be a very mild case, because that is what most cases are. This is one of the reasons why it spreads so fast, because people aren't even aware that they're sick. And you could say, well, the president's a little bit obese. Of course he is. But he seems to have good heart health. Now, I know for a fact that when Rand Paul had the Coof, he had almost no symptoms. He had a very mild case. We can also look at someone who is a media personality, like Fredo Cuomo. Old Fredo was in his basement making videos, much like I am right now, and broadcasting them and going, oh, it's terrible. I can't breathe. I just wanted to be able to breathe again. Yet speaking at a regular pace, at a regular tone, was not coughing on air, did not seem to be dying. Nothing was wrong with him. He just was in quarantine and was acting normally, yet espousing how ill he was. So, folks, if you haven't figured it out yet, this whole thing is a big, nasty, globalist nonsense. And this illness is, I've done videos on. It can be bad for certain people, certain statistical groups. And what we've seen all across the globe is sharp spikes in death rates, and then immediate drop-offs. And I'm more than certain that Trump will get through just fine, especially because, as I said, he's been taking hydroxychloroquine as a prophylactic, and that seems to be one of the good uses of it, as well as a few other things, like a Z-Pack. Again, that is not a cure. It is simply a treatment. And that's the other issue with all of this, is we know how to treat this thing. We've known that now since May. Really since the end of April, but May at the latest. So all the rest of this panic and all this other stuff is just globalist, regressives, leftist, communist, socialist power monger, hungry people trying to convince people to stay afraid so they can stay in power. And again, the conspiracies on the left are just incredible. And there's also a lot of disgusting people hoping that Trump will die. They're just out of their mind. But I'm not going to say much more about it than that, because really there's not much to say. I guarantee you he'll be giving certain statements, video statements, or whatever else. You'll see his health will be fine. Now, is it possible he gets really sick and croaks or something like that? It is absolutely possible. But he has a high percentage of being fine. I think a 95% chance in his age group, 95% chance. So please, folks, let's not get all crazy. Let's not freak out. Let's not, wish the president ill will either, because that's just, you're not a good person, obviously, if you're doing such things. And let's keep cool heads and realize that this thing is not that bad, and the president is not that bad either. And we will make it through. So, with that, this has been all -1 Quick Shots, and I wish you all well.